Beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, yay. The day is finally here, the finale. We are done with this shit. I am so happy that we are done with this, and I can't wait to get to the reunion. Let's get to the shits, and the reunion is definitely going to be some shit, y'all. All right, so I watched it barely one time, so I'm kind of going to watch it with you guys, see what's happening, but it's the finale. Let's get to it. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. It's just a click of a button for you. Like the video, you guys. It does wonders for my analytics, and let's get to it. Oh, now y'all know I usually start off by saying, was I entertained? Was it entertaining or not? And was I entertained? No, no, I was bored out of my mind. So there you have it. Let's get started. And this very first part, you guys, I didn't really see. I came in like 10 minutes late. So apparently we're starting off with nephew Tommy kind of going back as he does about, all the singles that started and where we are now. Then we have Morgan and her brother. And her brother, that's all I got to say because where I paused it is just not a good look. All right, so we start off with Morgan and her brother Harry. And Harry is looking a little difficult, you guys, but Morgan's drink looks amazing. She got some kind of sangria, something going on. But it's just funny to me how she gets there and she's able to sit and clown. Well, first of all, the first thing she says is that Tony is a man's man. There she go with that shit again. Like, that's pretty much all she cares about. But that's going to be to her detriment later because we'll get back to it. But Harry is not feeling him already because she starts talking about his aggression. So either you like the fact that he's an aggressive, manly man or you don't. And I just think it's interesting that Morgan gets to sit here and really clown Tony. However, she got issues. She got issues. Do Harry know about the Nair? Did she tell him? All right, so when Tony comes, he sits down. I feel like they didn't even shake hands or anything. Morgan stood up, gave him a hug. I don't know if him and the brother even shook hands, but the brother starts off immediately like, yeah, I heard you're from New York. It doesn't sit right with my spirit. How rude is that? Now you got everybody from New York really not liking you, Harry, and rightfully so, because how are you just gonna judge him off the fact that he's from New York and he's talking about that New York aggression. And Tony goes into the whole thing about him and I guess Lyndon getting into it and two alpha male. And y'all know, once again, I hate when men consider themselves or call themselves alpha male because you just do it. You just are. You don't run around saying I'm an alpha man. So he's telling him how, you don't have to worry because Morgan's brother's like, listen, if I have to come and see you, then it's going to be a problem. And I'm like, Harry, ain't nobody scared of you. Your little round ass. Ain't nobody scared of you. But, Tony handled it well. He didn't get rattled because normally that's what men in the family do. When you meet somebody and you kind of vetting them or whatever, you want to put a little fear in their heart. You say a little something. And you guys, quick story. When my sister got married, the men in my family told her husband that, and they were just like, oh, you better not hurt her. I'm going to come looking for you. Do y'all know he got upset for real? Like a little bitch. Like for real. Like, why would you get upset for real knowing that this is what people say? Anyway. So we're gonna move from them. Tony ends up, like I said, handling it real well. He told him, "Listen, you don't have to worry about it." But we know that's not true because once again, Tony is a little aggressive guy. He is so, and that's their relationship. They're very toxic, but nobody's sitting here saying that Morgan is toxic as well. I mean, really, if you're gonna tell how toxic Tony is, tell him yourself. Do your brother know that you nared somebody's hair? All right, so brother Harry ends up asking about Natasha. If my sister's the one for you, then why'd you end up sleeping with somebody else? And Tony's like, what? Excuse me? What? Yeah, because she told him all that. And once again, we're speaking on Natasha, who is not here. You guys, side note, you know that Natasha was on this podcast talking about how she, how offended she was by the whole thing. And once again, I was right. Well, I won't say once again, but I was right because it was shitty for them to tell this girl's business, this lady's business when she wasn't there. That's her business to tell. But did you guys know that Morgan ended up putting up an IG post apologizing to her? And we know it's bull. We know it's bull because how long ago was this taped? And you are just now apologizing to her and you keep bringing her up. You keep bringing up what this lady did. It's absolutely none of your business. Like, it's none of your business. This was before you. And so anyway, that's what Tony ends up telling the brother. He tells the brother, listen, this was before the process even really began. I wasn't there with Morgan. I hadn't connected with her yet. So basically, I could do what I want to do at the time, which is true. Um, and the brother's just like, well, I appreciate you telling me and being admirable. First of all, Tony's not admirable. He just knows that it's going to come out in the reunion. So we're not giving him any kudos for that. They're both trash for mentioning the whole thing, and the fact that we're still talking about Natasha. So Tony ends up leaving. We asked the brother how he feels about Tony, and he's just like, listen, it's up to you, basically. Cool person as a person, but like it's really up to you. And she's looking like, y'all, it just pisses me off that all of this is on her when she's batshit crazy too. Like she really is. But anyway, we're gonna move on. All right, y'all. Next, we got Cynthia. She's up. She has three ladies. Let me find out who they are. I don't know exactly who they are to her yet, because I ain't pay attention to that. But we have the three ladies. We have Andre coming in. Yeah, Andre got this curly Q. When I first watched it, I was like, oh, okay, well, he don't have the curly Q, so that's a little respectful. Like, you don't want to look like an idiot. He don't have the bun. He don't have the curly Q. However, he does. He does have the curly Q. So he's disrespectful as shit. Why do you have that curly Q in your head while you coming to meet my people? And nobody said anything. Yeah, I don't feel like if my sister had me meet a guy and he came walking in with a curly Q, I could have been there sitting and say nothing. Like I feel like I would have been talking to the curly Q the whole time. I wouldn't have been able to look him in the eyes. I'd just been so staring at this curl in the front of his head. Ugh. Oh, but before we even start, Cynthia starts off crying. Y'all know she's a crier. And we didn't know that in the beginning when she first cried or whatever. She's like, oh, I don't normally do this. And now we're like, yes, you do, sis. Yes, you do. You cry a lot. It's okay. Um, so she's crying already, and he's on his way in with his curl. All right, so as Andre, comes in and meets all the ladies, they're all very nice to him. These are all pretty ladies. The one with the lips ain't feeling them though. Like she was not smiling. She wasn't playing no games. She was doing this thing with her eyes every time he said something, and I was like, girl, hey for the shit. She's the smart one. But the other ones were the nice ones. They were giving off the little laugh and all that. She wasn't having it. So we talk about the fact that, Cynthia has kids. And he said he used to date this young girl that was like 23 with a kid. And they're like, yo. And he's like, no, 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 she was legal. So I guess it was fine. I don't know. He said 10 years older than her? Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, my baby is 25. I just can't imagine somebody 10 years older than her really having a whole lot in common with her. What does that say about him? And he's talking about how mature she was. I mean, I know it happens, but But anyway, he says he's still hurting from the fact that they broke up and he liked the kid. And I'm like, dude, that's just, I don't know that that's a good answer for me. Like, no, now you come in and you're going to be around my kids. And it sounds like in the conversation, he's going to say that he had another woman with kids or whatever. And I'm like, he's just the stepman, the stepfather guy. Like, that's just what he does. So anyway, we get Anthony coming in. Yeah, Anthony, of course, looks adorable. He has on his little shades, unless he has on those transition lenses or something. Because now that I'm looking at it where I paused it, he got on regular glasses, but he could have had on transition lenses. But y'all know Anthony is always well put together. He got his beard moisturized, and he's always looking nice. All right, so Anthony comes, he meets the ladies, they all end up getting emotional, talking about how much they love Cynthia and how she is their role model and they just don't want her hurt. And y'all, I don't know. I'm just not gonna cry when I meet somebody talking about the love I have for my sisters and stuff. I guess I'm just different and I'm not judging them, that's fine. But it was just a lot of tears and a lot of the two girls talking about, well, don't hurt her because we're coming for you. Once again, this is what family says, but not so much the women usually. So I'm just like, ooh, how about we just put some of that masculine energy away and, let's see what happens. So, yeah, when he leaves, the ladies basically like Anthony. Let's just sum it up. They like Anthony. They feel like Dre is nice. However, he just seems like he's a little afraid. He don't know kind of what he wants or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right. So good going, girls. But they like Anthony, which is a good choice. You guys, I honestly do like Cynthia and Anthony together, like I've been saying from the beginning. I just hope that they can make it for real. Like really think they're both genuine people. And what do we all want? Like, we all just want love, y'all. We all just want love. So if they can get together, bring these kids together, love on each other, I mean, I'll be happy. I like them. They're the only two that I actually like. Yeah, so then we have Mercedes meeting with God, what is his name? Mark Anthony. I don't know who this lady is to her, y'all. I'm sorry. I just haven't been paying attention to who these people are. But I know she talks like Mercedes. You look stubborn. That's what she ends up telling him. And it's so funny when she said it, Mercedes was like, ooh. So what we find out is that apparently Mark Anthony broke up with his last girlfriend because it was long distance. And now this is about to be long distance as well. So how's that going to work out for you, dude? Like, why are you going back into another long distance situation? And she's asking, well, if going from place to place, would you want her to go with you? And like, would you expect her to follow you around? And he's like, well, if I'm the primary breadwinner, then yeah. And my whole thing is, you guys, am I confused, or is Mercedes not a airline stewardess? Like, isn't she always gone anyway? Like, isn't she always traveling and she's always gone? And I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't care enough. I don't care enough about these two. So yeah, but I just feel like her friend, she was all over him, and I guess rightfully so. I don't know, but listen, I don't care enough about these two. I just don't. All right, so Mercedes' friend Vanessa says, listen, he's your type, but it's going to be long distance, and that's pretty much going to be a problem for you. She ends up grilling him about being very stubborn. He's like, yeah, I am. And she's like, well, are you going to be able to change that? He pretty much can't. Like, he just kind of just like, it is what it is. So, okay, all right. But I think my reason for saying about her being a stewardess, I just want to clarify, is that I just don't think it's the same where she's going to be at home all the time, waiting around for him, pining for him, like a long distance. He's not here. I mean, she's going to be very busy. She's going to be gone on the road all the time anyway. So I'm not saying that will make it any easier. I'm just saying it's not the same as her just being in one place and him being gone. Like, she got a life. It's fine. All right. So then we have Jeffrey and her sister. Her sister's pretty, and she doesn't have that voice. Meeting up with Curly Q, and Curly Q gives some decent answers or whatever. We once again don't care enough about these people. We don't. And then as they're getting ready to leave, what's her name? Not what's her name. I don't even know her name. The sister is like, oh, let's stay and have a couple drinks or whatever. Maybe I'll find my biblical husband. And I'm like, oh, she got you doing that shit too. Like, crazy on crazy. Come on. What's up with this biblical husband thing? Like, y'all know, I just think Jeffrey, I don't want to, I'm just going to leave it. All right, y'all. Now we're at the end. I choose you. I don't choose you. I choose. We're here, okay? And we start off with Mercedes and Mark Anthony. He brings her flowers. They're very pretty, and I'm just like, I don't want to watch this again. I just know that it sums up to him choosing her, her not choosing him. She choose herself. Now that Sabrina did it, which was badass. Now everybody want to choose theyself. Okay, girl. So she don't choose him. He's like, that's not the way I thought it was gonna end, but it's fine. And I'm like, I know it's fine because he don't care. He don't give a shit. She don't care either. Y'all know Mercedes friend zoned everybody. Like, Mercedes probably wasn't feeling nobody here on a real level. They probably could like sleep together or something. I don't know. But maybe not a real relationship. I mean, they are cute together. They have the chemistry. When they did their little kiss or whatever, it was a good kiss. But yeah, maybe just a one nighter or somebody to, play around with when you in his city. I don't know. But not a relationship, so we're done with them. All right, Cynthia and Anthony choose each other. Yay! Done with them. Let's move on. Um, Jeffrey and Andre choose each other. Of course, because Jeffrey is hard up, y'all. I'm sorry. She just gives me desperate. She just gives me pick me desperate. I don't know. I just think it's this whole thing with all the men and the babies and the husband that's not really a husband, that really was a husband but it was a no. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And the gifting of babies and all that. It's a lot with Jeffrey. She's a little bit of a weirdo. which is crazy because I really did start off liking Jeffrey a whole lot. But yeah, so they pick each other. Beautiful. Who else do we have then? We have Morgan and Tony. Of course, Tony chooses Morgan. Morgan chooses herself. Really, bitch? Really? You're batshit crazy as well, allegedly. You're batshit crazy as well. So thanks. And I feel like I don't believe it. You know, he said he was blindsided or whatever. He didn't see it coming, but he handled it well. He did. He's just like, oh, okay. Gave her a hug. And I was just like, because the way that these two interact, that's not it for them. You guys, I feel like they've done things together already. So they have this connection. And once again, whether they just hook up and not be in a relationship or whatever, I don't know, but they're not done. And we see from the previews at the reunion, they're not done. This toxicity that they have between them, each other, and they like it. You cannot tell me no different. They like that shit. And they thrive off of it, both of them. It gets them off, and they're not going to leave each other alone anytime soon. I don't care what nobody says. But that's the end of it. That's the finale. Yay, finale. Over it. Over it. I wish tonight would have just been the reunion. I feel like the reunion might give us something, y'all. It really might give us something. So, if you have made it to the end, you are the real MVP. Thank you so much. Once again, if you have not already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It is absolutely free of charge, and it would mean a whole lot to me. Thumbs up the video. It does wonders for my analytics, and I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.